Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for extra support, any kind of updates and the such usual go about on Twitter X. I now did manage to organize this thing here on the main page with the active gameplay series. It are the ones that are actually active, kind of, which is again Death Stranding. Again, when I can do live streams, I will continue playing this game. Elden Ring Theories, again, I got some ideas here and there, but to make videos dedicated to that, I need uh, time, let's say, to put my thoughts together and record the video. And the demos, again, when I have time, I will continue bring up more demos. I still have the first Berserker Kazan to play and check around. And again, Monster Hunter Wilds, there will be the next beta. I will see if I can do a few videos for the next open beta, see if I can explore a little bit more of the world itself and the systems there. And again, we got the ongoing the Callisto Protocol series. Next episode is tomorrow. And again, yesterday I did publish, and then got complete gameplay series. Now have Midnight Suns, and then the rest of it, including Elden Ring as an highlight, Dead Space remake, and Prey, and then the Star Wars Jedi duology there. Basically, that's it in terms of updates. Let's go to the news, and we got people already going in line and waiting for the launch of the 5090. These pictures are from Micro Center somewhere. Again, 4 days before launch. Again, this it basically what happens. This always happens, given if it is an iPhone launch or even with the 4090s, we had this kind of situation when there is this kind of things. There's also always something like this happening. Also with I think the 9800X 3D. Um, and again, I think this compounds more in this one because again we have from the information that we have from retailers, AAB partners, and all that jazz that they've been telling that there is limited inventory for these GPUs, which compounds the fact that people are waiting 4 days before the launch of the GPU. Supposedly, here on the picture, there is nobody on the tent, so. Uh, there's some theories there that this is been done or with the incentive of Nvidia or even from Micro Center to hype up the launch of the GPU. Again, people that will have money, for sure they will try to get as soon as they can this GPU. Again, it's the best GPU in the market that's going to be on the market in a week or so. Even though, again, in terms of value, it's not good. It is what it is. It's 30%. Kind of the thing is 30% above the 4090, which is as in terms of the specs itself is 30% more memory, 30% more CUDA cores, 30% more performance on average at a good day. And again, its costs at MSRP 30% more, which is something that is not going to happen, MSRP prices. So if you're thinking, unless you're a lucky person that's going to eventually catch one of these at MSRP, you can consider yourself lucky because I think we're going to see a lot of scalping and inflation on people that might want to take advantage of the fact that they have one of these and try to sell it at a better price, let's say. But yeah, on Micro Center itself, as a microcosm of the global launch of the GPU, they got usually the system which is first serve basis, which you're on the line on the queue. They will hand you a voucher of having like a first dips kind of a thing. So if you run to the counter, I think they're not going to be on display for sure. You can choose, and then depending on the inventory that they have there. Again, if you're going to be the last one, you have to get along with what they have in stock. But yeah, basically this is it again. We got the thing here of people camping out outside stores to wait for the launch of hardware piece there. On AMD side, we got interesting tidbits here regarding the RDNA 4, which seems to be the strategy focusing on desktops and not so much on laptops. Again, to a certain degree, I think it has to do also a conjunction of fact that I think in the previous generation, AMD didn't invest too much on the discrete GPUs on laptops that much, even though they are okay-ish, I think. I will assume. But yeah, I think this RDNA 4 is going to be focused more on desktops. I think on the laptop stuff and mobile devices, I think they are more focused at this moment in time in trying to capture market share and investing a lot on APU stuff there. I think in terms of market share, it makes I think from AMD's points of view, it makes more sense for them to go all in on APU stuff because they are investing already on that. And the fact that in terms of resources, they are a more limited company than NVIDIA per se. I don't think in terms of resources justify them to try and catch the gaming laptop market there. I think they want to flood the market with Ryzen APUs. I think it makes more sense, given that it's more in line with I don't know, enterprise world thing. If they're going to give laptops to employees and all that jazz, usually has to do something that adds value by using those devices. And I think APUs can be a good opportunity there for AMD to grow a little bit more the market share and dominate because Intel, again, with all the issues and everything, and I'm not sure if they're trying to put themselves in a position when, because it seems to be an NVIDIA strategy for them to come up with their own APU somewhere in the future. But yeah, it seems that they are not putting too much faith on putting discrete GPUs on laptops for this generation, even though it's an open possibility here. But the fact that the RDNA 4 doesn't have like a high end that they can I don't know market to gaming laptops per se, I think they are going to on the lower end, like even for playing 1080p. I think it's good enough the APUs to do a decent job there for lower end laptops per se. And probably if we see any kind of GPU discrete GPU stuff, it's going to be the RDNA 3.5 that they are being touting here and there, which takes account from the I think the architecture work that they did for the PlayStation 5 Pro. I think they're going to try, if they're going to inject something on the laptops, is going to be something similar to that more than anything. Than the going full on have a full lineup of discrete GPUs for laptops. I don't see, at least for this generation. I think given the fact that they have on the longer term strategy they're trying to implement or going to implement is the UDNA, which is the unified architecture. I think then we might see more stuff coming up, especially on the laptop side of things. But yeah, so far it seems that RDNA 4 is going to be the 9070 XT and NXT as the high end for for this generation, let's say. And I think they're going to try, even though with the blundering of all these delays and not having official information, and supposedly the delay it's till March, so for first quarter of this year. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to come and hit out of the park with this one. Again, it all comes down to how much inventory, for example, Nvidia will have from the 5070 Ti and 5070, how the reviews are there, how the MSRP is going to maintain itself or not, and again the inventory. And then I will think we'll have a reply from AMD, or trying to have a reply with the 9070 XT, and see if they can come up with something very competitive and aggressive on that bracket of GPUs. But yeah, in terms for laptops, again, I think that's it for now. I think they're going to stick with APU. They have supposedly a very strong lineup there. They on the CS keynote they announced a lot of stuff from APU stuff there, a lot of segmentation there. Again, I'm not sure how they. I think they are competing against themselves to a certain extent in that front. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how, in terms of, I don't know, next generation. Hopefully, this one they can at least do something decent, have a decent price point, especially on the 9070 XT and non-XT. Other than that, I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Again, supposedly RDNA 5 will be RDNA 5, which will meld in UDNA. Um, Maybe they will try to go for with some tweaks on the architecture from RDNA 4, and hopefully they figure out if there is a possibility to the multi-chip stuff that they did from RDNA 3 to be implemented again and upscale better for RDNA 5. But yeah, other than that, not much hope for the laptop stuff there, except we have to contend with what the NVIDIA is offering there. On industry side thing, again, Ubisoft closes more studios, layoffs around 185 persons, closes completely a new case studio, which is Leamington studio is closed. This studio was working on a couple of games. I think I highlighted here. Huh. I think I saw, if not in this article, I think it was in article, another article. I think they worked on Star Wars Outlaws and Skull and Bones. I think the game was this studio, and again, throughout other studios, they on Dusseldorf, Stockholm, Newcastle, they again they downsized. Again, we already knew this is going to happen. Again, Ubisoft didn't have, at least the last 5 years, very strong uh, revenue. They shut down X Defiant now, or it's going to be shut down, so it's already, the decision is already made. We got also the Assassin's Creed Shadows that's is having its own thing at this moment in time because they are now trying to wrap up for the launch there. Got Star Wars Outlaw that didn't do even enough to recoup the investment that they made. And yeah, and since 2022, they already laid off at least around 2,000 people or so. Again, having a company like this with 20K employees, I don't think. Yeah, they need to downsize way more if they want to restructure and be more competitive, as they say on the corporate talk that they usually send around the newsletters there. But yeah, it's reshape the company and trying to build their back up and make it successful. Again, make good games. Don't try um, to inject more. They need to wrap up those triple downs on DEIs and the trying to subvert expectation or try to rewrite what a good game is. Again, stick with the what people are asking for, and I think you will succeed eventually. But we got also the thing with the 10 cent thing buyout and the fact that they're going to be private again. A lot of it of this overall corporate structuring or restructuring will happen or not, depending on how Assassin's Creed Shadows will go. I think the game itself is going to sell because it's an Assassin's Creed game. But yeah, on the marketing side of things, people, this is having a lot of backlash. I saw somebody, a Japanese YouTuber, criticizing the video on again, it's the thing that the problem with Ubisoft is they went about on marketing the game as basically a historical depiction of Japan in Sengoku era, which again they butchered everything from the time from the seasoning, how seasons work. Um, got the Yasuke problem, which is the a 6.2 tall black guy ramming everybody, and it's like the super duper legendary samurai, which never happened. Again, they did improve a little bit on fine tuning, supposedly the parkour system. 20 million euros to fine tune some bugs here, but then they got the stream like last week they got a stream to showcase the fine tuning that they did, and the petting a dog was bugged out. So got those little things there that it doesn't. It's not very encouraging to see if you're expecting to this game to come out in a good state. Again, I think the game will be serviceable, but yeah, even the previews are at best lukewarm. So it will sell, but it's not going to be the huge hit. And even again, I already told this a couple of times. Even if it is a huge hit, again, even if it is selling like 10 million copies in the first two couple of months, similar like Black Myth Wukong, it will not save Ubisoft, because then they need to have at least I don't know, a couple or three kind of launches like this. Black Myth Wukong kind of a style thing, like selling 10 million copies in a couple of months for each game to put themselves in a better position, or else this is going to fail. Because, again, with the overhead of 20,000 employees, the fact that they're shutting down a live service game, the previous, I don't know, three, four games from Ubisoft, the Prince of Persia, Star Wars Outlaws, Skull and Bones, and this Exafight are not going well financially. Again, and a lot of overhead on the corporate structure there. Again, even if it sells 10 million copies in a couple months, they can delay a little bit the bleeding, but they're not going to solve any issues that the studio itself or the company itself has at this moment in time. We got also another couple of tidbits of news. We got Hogwarts Legacy. They announced they are going to get modding tools built in and some support. This is again, of course, for the PC version of the game. It's a short video, around 3 minutes or so, trying to explain the highlights of the modding tools. Um, Again, this will come in January 30th, so around 3 days or so. It's going to have built-in support for mods, which will be downloadable directly from the in-game menu. Again, this seems again, this comes if you want to build mods. At least that's my understanding. You have to download the kit, the creator kit modding tool through Epic Game Store. Uh, I'm not sure. This game is made on the Unreal Engine. I'm not sure. I will assume so, because of the fact that you have to do this on Epic Game Store. I think it's the Unreal Engine like creator specifically for this game, and then you have to link everything to the accounts there, so you can upload. And I think the ease of use of these modding tools is when you want to install or use mods, you just go to, I think it in game, you have like a proper page there on the game where you can browse through the mods that you might want to directly install. It's just a matter of installing, and everything is done automatically. Usually in third parties like Nexus Mod and the such, usually you need to you reorganize your mods and everything, and pick and choose, and all that jazz. But the fact that they are doing this kind of in-house kind of support stuff, it lends to, I will assume, better Q&A in terms of not breaking the game itself. And I think this has to be, if you want to do this, it has to be validated for them, from my understanding. But yeah, I think Steam Workshop works in this game. But yeah, I think it continues to function as intended on the Steam Workshop, if not mistaken. Again, I didn't play this game, so I'm not aware how the steps work in there. But for example, XCOM 2, I just go through the workshop, browse whatever I want, and just put it install, and it does. But usually you need a like a mod organizer usually. But yeah, other than that, it seems it's going to be easy with this creation tool. But yeah, it's good to see. I think it is going to bring a little bit more life to the game, or extend the life of the game for people. Again, they can buy the game even on a deal or something like that, and then they can extend the life of the game, or replayability with more mods and all that jazz. I think it what was before with Bethesda, especially Fallout 3 and Skyrim. The longevity of those games are basically due to the modding community, and especially Skyrim. millions of copies that they sold were basically by the fact that you got a very strong mod community that keeps on working on those mods even with different versions of Skyrim. It's mainly due to that. But yeah, good to see. We got another game that is going to get their own in-house. My only concern is I didn't see on the video. I don't think there's going to be any kind of monetization. Hopefully, because then when you start introducing monetization in game for mods, it screws around with the ecosystem itself. I think again, if you use mods and if you like the mods, you can always donate directly to the mod creator. I think it's a better way to support the modding community more than trying to just give the money directly to the developers. They already made the money from the game, and they are just going to take a share of that mod if the mod is monetized, and then they will give a smaller slice of the pie for the people who have all the work doing the mod and integrating the mod on the game itself. But yeah, good to see this. Then we got also another announcement. We got Rise of No Ronin, which was a PlayStation exclusive, is coming to PC on March 11th March this year. At first, because when I saw this, I was a little bit worried because it was a PlayStation exclusive. But the game is going to be published for PC from Koei Tecmo. So I will assume there we are not going to have any kind of PSN requirement stuff there. It's going to be you just buy on Steam and you can play it without linking anything other than that, which is going to be good. And the PC port is going to have a little bit more extra features, it seems. Supposedly 8K resolution, widescreen, and ultra widescreen display support, DirectX 12 Ultimate, 3D sound, real-time ray tracing, and the ability of playing of 120 frames per second. Again, I will assume that on PlayStation was 60 frames, so you got a kind of unlocked version there. And also, supposedly, it's going to feature multiple upscaling and texture smoothing technology. Again, DLSS, FSR, Intel XCSS, and supposedly is going to also feature optimized keyboard and mouse controls with user interface tailored for these inputs, which is always good when you port something from console to PC. The game itself is okayish, from what I understand. The reviews, especially here, I checked the review here from Factor Live. The game is like a 8.5. I think the biggest down is the graphic stuff there. In terms of graphic fidelity and such, seems a little bit dated. But overall, it's kind of a fun game, it seems. Got a lot of exploration. The combat system seems more than serviceable. I think the thing that hurts the most on this game is a little bit uh, dated graphics. Uh, it's the best way to put there. But yeah, other than that, it might be a good game, and I think it's going to be out $50. I got the page here. I will leave the link also to the Steam page if you want to wish list the game. Yeah, the price point is going to be 50 euro or $50, which is probably a good one, good price there. I don't see um, any issues with that. But yeah, it seems a good game. Here on the PC requirements, a quick note here. The minimum requirements, which hovers around between 2080 Super or RX 6700 XT. They say this is the minimum for 1080p 60, but with frame generation sorry, upscale, sorry, and then frame generation can be used to increase even more FPS. So 1080 60 FPS with a 2080 and a 6700 XT. Um, okay, it's again they are older GPUs and lower end at this point in time. But yeah, I think it's serviceable, and the minimum it's a 1060. Again, you need to have the 6 GB version and a 5500 XT from AMD with 8 GB of VRAM. Again, I think this is going to be playable with lower end specs. But yeah, because it supports at least upscale technology on lower hardware, I think it's going to be more than enjoyable if you want to play this game. I don't see any big issues with that. As you can see here, Koei Tecmo is going to publish itself here on Steam, so I think that's why um, uh, we are not going to have any shenanigans with PSN, given that it was before a PlayStation exclusive. And then lastly, we got Lords of Fall CEO shares game is crashing the forecast that they had uh, by around 10%. This comes after that they did, I think it was creative director, no, CEO, the CEO of CI Games, which is the developer of Lords of Fallen. He did a poll on Twitter asking between the male female or body type A, body type B. I covered this a little bit here. Again, majority went for 88%, and it was already implemented. And where is the thing here? It came out on the latest patch of the game. They did a little bit more extra stuff there, but then again, male female body option, and yeah, the game is now on sale and around 60%, 67% off. I think I got here on the gaming deals portion, and they saw a little bit uptick, especially on sales, more than they forecasted itself. Again, we have to take their word with that, which is good to see. There was a little bit uptick also on player count. Yeah, from the last month it was which is good to see. Again, this game, it seems pretty good, even though it has mixed results. And I think most of those mixed results were because of the launch. The game was a little bit underwhelming in certain aspects, but I think it improved more and more. And they added new game modes, a lot of more tricks that you can do with runs or like new gameplay, new playthroughs, and everything. And again, it hits a little bit different than what we are used to from Dark Souls games, in terms of the combat mechanics. There, it's a little bit different. I think the main difference was the commitment to action, which is something that happens usually on Souls-like games. For example, when you press an action, you have to commit to that action because the animation will go for its entirety. While with Lords of Fallen, I think you can interrupt. For example, an action can interrupt with a dodge or something like that, which might feel a little bit off. I think it's a little bit of just experience by yourself and see how it goes. But yeah, I think the major complaint was with that, because in terms of design level and level navigation, I think it's one of the best out there. They got the mechanic with the umbral, and I completely forgot the other part. You got two sets that has a lot of level puzzling there to be solved for you to progress on the game, which is very interesting how they went about it there. But yeah, we got somebody trying to listen to the audience for this game, and after listening, putting into action, and they saw at least, according to them, a little bit extra income from those decisions there. But yeah, this is what I got in terms of news. Let's go for some gaming deals. We got a lot of sales now. We got the New Year's Lunar New Year from the Chinese calendar coming up. It's already a sale there. And we got also the Kuwait Tecmo. Again, a lot of Japanese or Asian and Chinese publishers and the stuff are putting games on sale. We got Resident Evil series is all on sale. I will leave the links of the Resident Evil games on the description for you to pick and choose to complete the collection. I already have all the remastered bought out from the winter sale. Again, they are on the back burner for me to start doing the Resident Evil 2, 3, 4 remastered, then going up for Resident Evil 7, and then Village. So I have those 5 games to play around and do series about it. But yeah, I need to go to make myself work on that. And then the only ones I still didn't bought was these Resident Evil Revelation series here, which seems to be pretty good. But yeah, they are all on sale. We got also, again, Lords of the Fallen 67% off. We got No Man's Sky 60% off. Again, you just buy and play, no extra microtransactions there, which is good to see. We got the Book Walker, Fifth of Tales. Again, seems to be a very interesting game. Turn-based combat. You basically can enter the books and go about exploring the worlds of those books. And yeah, 60% off. We got also Sandland, 50% off here. We got Dark Souls Trilogy is on sale, 50% off. So Dark Souls 1, it's got all the DLCs included here. Same thing with Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, 50% off. We got also Dark Souls 3. The deluxe edition is the way to go, 50% off. Then we got also the Star Wars Jedi games. This is the Fallen Order, 85% off. I think it's an okay price here for this game. It's a little bit buggy from time to time. It's not a very long game, but if you're hesitant, you can check out my gameplay series on this game. At least a couple of episodes, so you might have a little bit an idea how this game works and what you can do there. And the same thing can be said for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Again, this is 75% off. I don't think it's worth the deluxe edition update or upgrade, mainly because it's only cosmetic upgrades. There is no need for that. And again it's mostly positive. It's around 7.5 out of 10 in my overall thoughts there. It still has those performance issues, again, due to Unreal Engine things there, but it's not something that you're always going to notice too much. What you're going to notice it's something that I encounter throughout my gameplay, with the artifacting and very weird stuff from time to time. But other than that, it plays itself good. In terms of game mechanics, improved from the first one, and it's a little bit more comprehensive. Got more extra activities to do, more exploration to go about, and yeah, it's more enjoyable, even though it has some issues here and there. But I think again, it's a little bit like of optimization, but still. With this price point, I don't think it's a missed opportunity if you buy it at this price point. But yeah, again, if you want to check it, you can go through my gameplay series on this game here. Then we got also then Nino Kuni. Oh, it's called Nino Kuni Wrath of the White Witch. This is the remastered version, 85% off. And then the sequel, Nino Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom, 84% off. But yeah, this is it for today. I will wrap up the episode here with a plug of my Patreon for extra support. This extra support is more aligned for me to get around to see if I can get a better storage solution so I can have backups of the stuff that I do for my clients. And of course, some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. Until then, Kunamy Master out.